coming in at 3,700 pounds with a slide-out dinette. Folks, this right here is the 2021 Keystone Springdale 1790 FQ. All right, folks, right away, one of the things I really love about this floor plan is because the slide-out dinette, you have a ton of space in here. For being a smaller travel trailer, being able to have this much room, be able to move around, maneuver, and again, be right at that 3,700 pound mark, means that you can tow this with a lot of tow vehicles at 5,000 pound capacity, right? Because it gives you enough space in here to be able to put a lot of your cargo, your gear, and still be under that 5,000 pound mark. Now, the reason that I love that is because that means you don't have to go out and get a new half-ton pickup, right? If you have like a mid-size or larger SUV, chances are you're able to tow this. Now, again, you'll want to make sure you check the tow rating because you could still only have 3,500 pounds, but at 5,000 pounds, you should be able to tow this one pretty easily. And I just love the space. I love the addition of the slide out and what you get at that weight. Let's take a look over at the kitchen setup here. Now, because it is a little bit smaller camper, we have smaller countertop. And so with that, you get a single basin sink instead of a double, and then a 2-burner instead of a 3-burner cooktop. Now, you will notice it is in a horizontal orientation. Some manufacturers will put it, in a more vertical orientation, which will give you a little more counter space. But as far as usability, I think it is easier to use this way. Otherwise, it's kind of a pain to reach the back burner, because, if you're using them both. But, I guess let me know what you guys think, right? If you're shopping for a smaller RV, do you prefer it this way? Do you prefer it turned? Or would you like to see a 3-burner cooktop in here, right? It'll raise the price a little bit, but it is something that, I can go back to the manufacturer with. So let me know what your thoughts are. You'll also see a window here in the kitchen to help let in some light, and a high-rise faucet, oil rub bronze. Not a super deep sink, so that high-rise faucet definitely will aid in washing and rinsing dishes. You'll also see you have your electrical outlet there on the wall in case you need to plug in a coffee maker or anything like that. And this right here is your stereo system. It is the Boss unit. Not quite as nice as Bose, but I do still like the portability of this, right? It's kind of nice because it can sit right here, can play music, and honestly, this does sound better than most of the built-in RV systems, right? The RV sound systems generally aren't the best. They're kind of very tinny, high treble. This one will definitely sound better. Plus, if you want, you can take it outside, put it on your picnic table. It's just quick and easy. Or even if you go down to the beach or something, right, you can take that with you. Most other systems, you cannot do that. Storage right up top. You got to have some storage in the kitchen, and you will see that there. Of course, microwave hood underneath, and then additional storage right down below. Open that up to show you. I do like the size of this one for a couple different reasons, but the main one being that there's plenty of room for a trash can, and I personally don't like my trash cans hanging out. I like to be able to put them away. Now, based upon space, you still may not be able to put a trash can in there because you may have to put pots and pans just because you don't really have another dedicated pot and pan holding space. But you do kind of get some options there. And you can get a little creative. Possibly you can do both. You also see 2 full extension ball bearing drawers, so you have space for flatware, some of your other utensils, or heating pads, dish towels, things like that. Fridge freezer combo over to this side. This one does run off both propane and electric, also has automatic switchover. A lot of manufacturers are going to just 12 volt. If you're not a fan of the 12 volt system, you don't want to have to rely on solar or second battery or anything else, and you want to use propane, then you will appreciate this fridge here. I do want to point out furnace, direct vent furnace. Folks, that's all you'll need. In a camper this size, the only wall is right here in the bathroom. Everything else is nice and open. It will do a great job of keeping you nice and toasty. And if we make our way into the bathroom here, this is one of the great things about this camper. It's a rear bath, which means you get a lot of space. Even right here, I have good leg room, plenty of shoulder space in here, and I have enough room to actually get ready over to the side. I'll show you that. Yeah, actually, come on in here, Aaron. So right here, right, I have a good mirror, at least for my upper torso. I'm able to hang out right here, get ready. I have a ton of countertop space in this camper, which again is something you are not often afforded in RV bathrooms. Electrical outlet over to this side. That mirrored medicine cabinet does have storage behind it, and I'll open this up just to kind of show you do have some decent storage there underneath too for, toilet paper, black tank chemical, poopery, right? Whatever else you want to throw in there, you got some good space for it. Now, my only downside to this one, personally, is the shower. And this is fairly common when you have smaller campers like this, but as you can see, right, at 6 foot tall, I cannot stand all the way up. I do have to bend down a little bit. So, I wish they would have just added just a tiny bit there, maybe another inch or so to the ceiling height. For me personally, I would have preferred that. But for you, maybe you're not 6 foot, maybe you're, 5'10", 5'9", then that'll work just fine. Or, someone like me, that's probably not going to be a deal breaker because, hey, I can bend down and shower. It's not like it's a huge water heater. It's going to be a 6-gallon water heater. So chances are you're going to have to shower pretty quickly anyway. And so, yeah, I can probably make that work. You'll also see right back here your thermostat. Now this will be just for the furnace. This one does have an AC. Controls are on that. I'll show you in just a second. Also, your tank monitoring panel is right here, which I like. A lot of manufacturers put it in the bathroom, and I don't personally really care for that. If someone's in there, it's kind of a pain to get to, and I just want to be able to, click right here and do quick checks to see where my, battery's at or how full my tanks are. Your water heater control is on there as well, as is your water pump. It is good to note this water heater does run off propane only, right? It does not have an electric element in there. Over to this side is that slide-out dinette. It is a raised slide, so that way they can keep the overall height a little bit lower, which is something you want when you're towing with an SUV. You don't want this big towering RV behind you, right? Plus it helps a little bit with the weight. Nice big window there too to let in some natural light. This does drop down into a bed, but you're not going to sleep an adult there. It'll just be for children mainly, unless you curl up into a fetal position. And they did add some storage. I think this is a pretty decent addition right here too. So you have that. And then I would imagine, I haven't checked, but I am pretty certain if we look under here, yeah. So you do have storage underneath the dinette as well. So there's really nothing else that they could put in there. So you do have storage, which I do like that. I wouldn't have minded having a little bit easier way to access that. Like I would have liked to have seen, a little door right here, maybe with like a bin or something in there. But, again, at this price point, we can't have it all. I think what they did give you for the price point is actually pretty darn good. And then up front is your queen bed. You'll see nightstands on both sides, electrical outlet, USB ports, a couple wardrobes plus a shelf. And if you want a TV, you can see that's where the TV will mount right there. I do recommend getting a swing arm mount, so that way if you're sitting in the dinette, you can swing that out and be able to watch TV. Last thing I want to hit on before we head outside, folks, talked about the AC. That is the AC unit right there. This is a non-ducted unit, but again, in an RV this size, that 13.5 will do everything you need to cool this guy down in just a few minutes. With the slide all closed up, we want to make sure we can get to everything, right? It's one of the important things when you're traveling. If you want to be able to pull over, make yourself a sandwich, you have full access to the refrigerator as well as the freezer. And as you can see, you still get good access to the bathroom. And as I said, that's one of the great things about having this slide out in the smaller camper, is when that opens up, you get a ton of space in here, yet you still have access to everything you need during travel. Now that we've seen the insides, take a look at some of the outside features on the 2021 Keystone Springdale 1790FQ. You have your single 20-pound propane tank right up front here, space for your battery right behind, diamond etched plating to help protect that front end. And you'll also see the 3-year structural warranty on here. Folks, this is one of the best warranties currently in the industry. It is tied for, again, the best warranty. So if you're looking for something kind of entry level, good peace of mind, you know that Springdale here will stand behind their products. Coming around to this side, you'll also see solar prep on this one. I know we talked about the fridge inside being able to run off propane, but if you still want to trickle charge your battery, you do have that option. This one is prepped with ZAMP, so you want to buy the ZAMP portable system, plug it in right there. Everything is already pre-wired, and it'll trickle charge your battery. Looking at the pass-through storage, you'll see it's actually pretty good size pass-through. Again, for being a smaller camper, that's quite a bit of space. It's not the biggest door ever, so you might have a little bit harder time fitting in like some of your bigger chairs, things like that. But if you're able to get it in there, you can fit quite a bit in that pass-through, which I like. You have these solid steps by LCI, and as the name implies, they are exactly that. You'll see aluminum treads with the grip tape for some extra traction, and the fact they're aluminum means that it's not going to rust, at least the steps here itself won't, and it just folds up in the door when you're done. Adjustable feet, so you're able to adjust it to the campsite, and a smaller grab handle here just for a little bit of control when entering the RV. You also notice a window in the door. Folks, when you're looking at a little bit more inexpensive, right, some entry-level price point travel trailers, a lot of times they will get rid of this because most people don't notice, right? It's not one of those things you normally are like, oh, hey, there's a window in the door. But it makes a big difference in my opinion because it lets in a lot of natural light. But again, a lot of manufacturers will axe it so they can get in that price point they want to be at. Springdale thought it was important. I agree, and I'm glad that they added the window there. Right up top is your 12-volt power awning. Touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to go right back in. You'll also see the LED light strip underneath. And because of the way that that is attached, doesn't matter if the awning is fully retracted like it is right now, partially extended or fully extended, you are still able to use that LED light strip. Outside electrical outlet in case you need to plug anything in. You know, sometimes I like to set up a table right out here, and then if you have like an electric griddle or something like that, you can plug it in. Or, you know, if you're a little bit more of a partier, sometimes I fall into that category too. Might have like a Margaritaville machine, right? Put that out here. Fun times. Making our way to the back, you can also see the square tubular bumper with end caps. Those end caps pop off. It does give you a convenient space in which you can store your sewage hose. I always tell, well, I don't always tell people, but I will tell you right now, if you're gonna store your sewage hose in there, folks, just wash it out before you do, right? Last thing in the world you want is a bunch of bio building up in there. Wash that guy out so it's nice and clean and you slide it in, help keep that storage area cleaner as well. Mounted to that bumper is your spare tire. Hopefully you never have to use this, but if you do, this is definitely one of the easiest places to access it. Making our way around to the back, you'll see your cable inlet is going to be right over here. And on the off-camp side, your 30-amp power cord is just tucked right to the unit. You can just pull that out, plug it in to have shore power. Termination down below with both your black and gray tank valves. And the last thing I want to hit on, folks, is right up here are your water connections. You will see both your fresh tank fill as well as the city water inlet. And folks, that wraps up the 2021 Keystone Springdale 1790FQ. If you're interested in this little beauty and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker. Let's go camping.